I'm about to be 40 in exactly 2 months. Now you see why I do voiceovers, because some little critter rolled up on me and bite me. Not nice. Y'all, as 40 is approaching, I am asking God and myself, what now? Do I want to start a business? Do I just want to build a little home by my grandmother and live a quiet life? Do I want to do YouTube? Should I go back to singing? I don't know. I've sung on grand stages. I've moved across states and now seas. I've built businesses, closed businesses. I've lived and I've loved. But what now? You know what? I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna build up my little home next to my grandma. I'm gonna start a business that I have no knowledge about. I'm gonna launch my YouTube page, and I will sing again.
Hey guys, I have a question that I feel like I have a partial answer to it. The question is, why do you think people are moving back home? And when I mean people, I mean younger adults. I'm not talking about people who are retired and who have like their pensions, who are just ready to go back to Africa. I'm talking about younger adults. I'm talking about younger females and younger males, or relocating back to Nigeria. Recently, I type in on my TikTok, like moving back to Nigeria, and it's a lot of videos popping up, and people are just like moving en masse to Nigeria. And I feel like one of the answers that I have to it is the fact that people are seeking identity, and people are trying to have meaningful life, and people are tired of like the monthly subscriptions that we have to leave being abroad. I'm talking about like the US, the UK, and Canada, and other places that is not Africa. So, but what do you guys really think? Because I remember talking about this topic and everyone literally came from my head. So I want to know, what do you guys think?
So guys, I'm getting my ducks in a row to move back home to Jamaica, right? So, well, I already got a house, so that's the biggest thing. Next, I think I need a bank account. So, what bank in Jamaica do y'all think is the best transitional bank for someone still living overseas? I need to be able to transfer money from here to that account easily. So, to all of my Jamaican people, which bank do y'all think is the best option right now? Let me know. Right now I'm looking into NCB, but let me know if there's a better option where I can just easily transfer money from my US bank to there. Yeah, so I can pay my contractors easily from there. Let me know.
Hey, so I'm building a new shed. The old one got smashed up. This is the old one. Yeah, gone. Demolished. And then this is the new one that they're working on. I'm so grateful that I built my house on a solid foundation. Look at this, y'all. The land looks so barren, but you see little things starting to spring back already. Yeah, my plantain and bananas. And there's some way at the bottom. I'm not walking down there. You can see the heads of them, but y'all, I can see things that I've never seen before. You see that? And the house over here, I could never see that house before as much as I can now. The roof blew off of my bathroom, stuff off of my tank. But you know, here it is. I've just now been feeling like sharing it. But you know, it's gonna come back. My fence is down. The fence behind the shed going all the way down. That whole fence is gone. And then on the other side, hold on, by the trees, that fencing is gone. It was just some regular fencing, but at least it was enough to keep the animals out and keep my animals in. So now I got to work on replacing that. And then there's the fencing along the front.
Like, if you don't have patience while living in Jamaica, you're going to crash out every other day. Hi, my name is Janelle. I moved back to Jamaica after 10 years of living in the US. And let's just say, adjusting has been a journey. Let's talk about it. From appointments to banking to receiving an email back to deliveries. Back in the US, I could book an appointment online, show up, and within 30 minutes, I could be out of there. But now, is like if I book an appointment out here in Jamaica, I might still be there 2 hours later just waiting to get served. If you're sending an email to a US business, you can expect them to respond within a few hours, maybe even a few minutes. But if you're sending an email to a Jamaican business, it's like sending a message in a bottle. You might get a response 3 to 5 business months from now, if they respond, if they even receive the message. And then when it comes to running everyday errands, like very basic stuff like doing groceries or going to the bank in the US, you could go to Target or wherever you shop and then go to the bank and then go home right after. Like you might even be able to grab a coffee or something in between and you'll still be home before noon. In Jamaica, if you gotta go to the bank, you're gonna be there all day. You're gonna be there all day. You can't just go somewhere and just run an errand and be back home by certain time. Kinda sort of missing the convenience of living in the US. Just not having to wait in lines and having my Amazon packages just show up at my door. I had a package coming every other day, multiple times a week I had a package. But at the end of the day, I'm sure I'll get used to it as time progresses. But it's only been a month and a half, so we'll just have to see, and I'll keep y'all updated.
Jamaicans are so resilient. He does not have a kitchen because everything was demolished, but he still is cooking this breakfast, cooking food.
It's morning and it's hot already. I am walking up to my uncle's shop to meet a friend. We're just gonna hang out a bit. I just gotta get out the house. Look at the heap of sweat on my face. It wasn't that far a walk. Mighty God.
Listen me.
So I love to watch people's houses. I just love the colors that they choose. And what exactly is a road trip in Jamaica without tire problem? I don't know. But we don't take it seriously. You fix it and you move on with your day. So this was my first time at the supermarket. I don't even remember the name, but I am going back. The people had wine tasting and food prepared. I'm going back. We walked over to market. And I want you to see how strategically these ladies place themselves. So these are my 2 friends. They're walking in front of me. And I have a friend walking behind me. And I didn't realize until today that they do that as a buffer for me because everybody can see foreign on me. But I found Guinea and the thing sweet. Oh gosh, I love Guinea. Now we're heading back home. And I'm going to eat my rotisserie chicken in the car and take in the views. I cannot stress enough how much I love being home and being with my family and friends.
After spending 3.5 years in America, I finally got the opportunity to go back to Jamaica. So as mentioned before I left Jamaica, I had started to construct a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. And I had been sending money for all these years and I just came back to see what I was sending my money to build. Over the years, I always hear people with bad stories about sending their money to Jamaica to family to build a house for them. But I must say that I'm happy I'm not a part of the statistic. I was actually very happy and pleased because exactly what I wanted to get done was actually done. The roofing and electrical work for 2 of the bedrooms and bathrooms were already done. I also came and saw windows and doors for the entire building already bought and put down. And to be honest, I'm ever grateful. I have to big up my father. You get me? I say, they want to make sure everything get done. Just jump on a flight and head back home. Well, this is not really home, but I head back to America. In 2022, at 24 years old, I came to America on a H-2B visa. I must say the rest is history, but I'm only happy I got to come back to my wife and my handsome son and bring back a little bit of Jamaica to him. Hit the follow button and join me and my little family on our journey.
You see, just like how you need a plan when you go foreign, if foreign not work out, say financially or it's just too much mentally, it take a toll on your mental health, I decide to say, fuck it, I move back, I go back to my yard. You need a plan again. Can't go and go take set for nobody, because you go on plane. You know how we stay already, especially old school Jamaican. If you try to take set for nobody, them are going to say, listen, you did there a foreign. and you decide to come back home, remember that. Especially if you establish yourself down there and the house now in place and some look something, remember that. And not because you have two cousins or two friends where you send a bills go get a bill 50. It no means that when you go home and broke, them are going to have back a bill to give you where you go say, oh, me used to do this. No means that them are going to have it back for give you. So,
it's official. Your girl is moving abroad. Where do you ask? Well, of course, the best place in the world. Duh, Jamaica. So now I want to bring you guys on the journey with me. This is officially my 3-week countdown. I will be going back in about 3 weeks so that I can get my TRN number, and so that I can also apply for the other necessary paperwork and items, and I'm going to do a little bit of apartment hunting. So if anybody has any recommendations on any nice areas, housing schemes, or anything like that, please let me know. Now, I've learned a lot about Jamaica in the last 6 years that I've been going there. A lot. But I know that there's still so much for me to learn. I want my information from the authentic Jamaican community, okay? I'm going to do more videos for you guys. Please comment tips if you have any.
I want to thank the Prime Minister for receiving and welcoming home the Jamaicans who have been deported from the United States of America. This is your right to land, and it is with great pleasure that we welcome you back home, right? But can we build on the Prime Minister's speech though, and can we open the discussion as to why these persons had left Jamaica in the first place? I imagine it must have been a difficult decision to get up and to leave your children, your partners, your families. Some of you leave ill parents behind in search of better opportunities that are not existing in today's society and not existing in Jamaica. And so you had to go all over the globe in search of making these dreams that you have become reality. And that opens the discussion as to the gaps that exist in Jamaica that we need to bridge as a people to make Jamaica the place that our Jamaicans can live, raise their families, do business, and enjoy. Amongst many of these persons are lawyers, doctors, teachers, laborers, regular Jamaican brothers and sisters who are out there trying to find a better life. And so it's important for us, and for us to challenge our government, because we're paying a very hefty price for governance. So we have to challenge our government to see all the things that they need to do to ensure that we, the regular Jamaicans, get to enjoy and to live in Jamaica, right? Also, another thing that we need to table, and is a challenge to the Prime Minister and to our government. How are we going to welcome these persons home? And what measures are we going to put in place to ensure that these persons are reintegrated into society? I mean, some of them are coming out with little to nothing, and they need the support of their government and their people in order to reintegrate into this society. So I think what we need to do is to build a little committee around this and to plan for the systems and the measures and the assistance that can be given to these individuals to ensure that they become, productive members of society. Because don't get me wrong, these people, a lot of them are very hardworking, ambitious people, and so it's important for us to ensure that we have the plans and the measures in place to reintegrate them into society and to ensure that, they can become productive members of the Jamaican society. Welcome home, and we challenge you, our government.
Everyone wants to know why I moved back to Jamaica, and honestly, it came down to more than people realize. People think life in the US is always so glamorous and stress-free, but the truth is, it's not always that way. I graduated college, got my own place, and on paper, I had what looked like a solid career in the pharmaceutical industry, but I felt like I could be happier. I was making tons of money, but I was also spending a lot of it just keeping up with the cost of living. And on top of that, there was a lot of limitations. Everything felt like a constant race, surviving instead of just truly living. And I also hadn't seen my family since COVID, which really put things into perspective for me. So at 25, I chose to hit reset. For me, this move is part of a journey of rediscovery, finding peace, purpose, balance, and embracing a slower pace. God is ordering my steps, and He led me back here. And in due time, I'll move back to the US when it's right. When I figured out more about my life, have a clear sense of direction and what that would look like. But right now, Jamaica is exactly where I need to be. This is the start of a new chapter, and I'm so excited to share my journey as I navigate this change and rediscover Jamaica. This is only the beginning.
So me decide to me I move back to Jamaica. And before you come with all the violence, all the poverty, we are try left. Just bear in mind, so I never ask. So I always remember, so everybody have them own preference, everybody have them own life to live, everybody have to make them own decisions. So if you don't agree, fine by me. But personally, I don't feel like somebody need for their foreign. I mean, most people leave Jamaica. The same story, they want to make more money, they want to get a job or pay well, this and that and that. But personally, me run my own business them. So, I don't really need for their foreign. And the reality is Jamaica is one of the easiest countries to start a business in. I don't have to take my word for it. Just research it and you realize that they're in like the top 10 countries, I think. So what you have to understand is that every country have them negatives and them positives. It's just up to you, the life where you want to live and what works well for you. And personally, I don't really feel like saying nobody want to leave Jamaica, you know. Them just want money. So if you can find a way to make money while you're in Jamaica, then you're good to go. And yes, it will be a process. I'm not going to just get up one day and say, alright, I eat this. And technically, I'm still going to be coming back and forth because my family is here as well. So, yeah, it's not going to be something that's so solid. But personally, I just feel like, say, what's the point? If every time I travel to Jamaica and come back to England, I just feel stressed out and depressed, what me I come back for? And one thing I might not know about England is not easy. And it is not for the weak. So, you see, if you want to be an entrepreneur like myself, England is not the place to be. England is one of the hardest countries to start business in. So, trust and believe, you ain't missing nothing over here. But yeah, man, right now, it makes no sense for me. I take my money every minute I go to Jamaica and I come back, I go to Jamaica and I come back. For me, I come back far.
But if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Definitely felt like this comment needed to be highlighted because that is my sentiment exactly. That is literally all you need to do. When you're there foreign, make your money, save your money, and that's the way how you can move back and live in Jamaica comfortably. So all the people them where say, oh, I really wish we could have done that, but I don't have the money. Here what you do. You see, for the next 2 to 3 years, maybe up to even 5 years, you work hard and you save your money. So when you got yard, nobody behave like say, yeah, Mr. or Mrs. Robin Hood, you know. I feel like say if you give it to everybody and whatever, because at the end of the day, you will go back now and if you go work be overtime because you are trying to make back all the money where you spend for your trip. I remember, so the flight itself, not cheap. And I don't know, something about when you go foreign and go to Jamaica, you can't move like a regular Jamaican again. All of a sudden, you can't walk in a sun. You have to charter a taxi. So transportation prices gone all the way up. You catch look at accent, so people start charging a little extra. Your friend and your family, them come tax you. So I know the trips can be very, very, very expensive, but it's up to you to budget what you can manage. And never, ever, 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 ever. But you have to take a loan for go on trip to Jamaica. Like, why would you do that? Like, literally, I've heard of people doing this, and I cannot understand why. The idea is that everybody's trying to bring this persona, like them create this facade, you know, like them have it and foreigner go and good for them and them something, them a pretend. But at the end of the day, if you just actually be honest and stay true to yourself and your pocket and realize, alright, that only 100,000 I have to spend on the trip here, and you stick to your budget and make sure so when you go back, you continue and you save up again. Because nothing wrong if you enjoy your money little. You can't just save and not spend nothing. You have to enjoy yourself now and then. But just ensure so you spend wisely. Never squander the money and then you end up, you look 10 years time, you're still there foreign broke and can't go home. And you have to stay in the depression and the sufferation because you need to earn consistently. Save your money. Simple.
If you are going back home to your home country, read this before you book the flight. They don't see you as family anymore. They see you as money. Coming back home isn't always sweet. Let me tell you something that a lot of people are too scared to admit. Even though you were born there, once you leave and come back, you are not one of them anymore. They don't see you as a person. They see you as a walking ATM, an opportunity, a target. So here's how to protect yourself. 1. Don't publicize your trip. Not tell nobody. Move in silence. The less people know, the better. 2. Get your own ride. Don't let anyone pick you up at the airport. Rent a car or hire from a verified car service. 3. Stay at a resort or hotel. Stop crashing at your auntie house. Visit them during the day. Sleep somewhere safe. 4. Limit how much you go out. You don't need to be seen at every party or on every corner. Keep a low profile. 5. Avoid driving at night. Don't test fate. People watching every move. This isn't to scare you. Some of you all have amazing family, but some people only smile when they see $sign. Stay alert, stay smart, stay alive. Safe travels.
The day I landed in the UK, I realized I didn't just leave Jamaica, but Jamaica also left me. At 18, I thought I was ready for big dreams and a fresh start. But the second I opened my mouth and asked for any kind of direction or any kind of instruction, I realized that I sounded foreign. And in that moment, I realized that it will never ever be the same, and it was not going to be easy either. I finally got a job really quickly, and it was to do care work, and I could not find the actual location that I needed to go, and I stopped and I asked a bus driver if he didn't know where it was, and I said, you know where XYZ place there? And the man couldn't understand me. You see, that night, I thought to myself, well, clearly, if I'm going to make it here, I'm going to have to be able to speak how them I speak. So I spent the whole night, I decided that water is water, or water, or water. Over and over again. What's your name? Kelly. All with accent. All my name have accent. Water, now water. Laughed at myself so many times just hearing me practice the accent and getting it wrong when I needed to get it right. But a part of me felt sad as well, because I was changing the person who I knew all my life to fit in, to be understood, to be accepted. You see, I was a big churchgoer when I was in Jamaica, and finding a church in the UK that felt like home was almost impossible. The songs, they sounded different to the ones that I used to sing in AY. The people smiled, but it was kind of like polite and distant and almost like we were here to beg. Even family, the ones that should have been here for us and should have understood what we were going through and made it easier in some shape or form, struggled to do that. And for a while, we felt like ghosts. Because, you see, we were too British for Jamaica, and we were too Jamaican for the British. So I remember there was this work phone call that I was on, and I was explaining something. Somebody stopped me halfway, and I remember saying out loud, "What you say?" And the whole room looked at me. And I think at that point, I just announced, oh, sorry, I meant, what did he say? I'm Jamaican, so sometimes it comes out. And everybody just looked at me like, wow, that's so good. That's so cool, you know? You see, in that very moment, I realized that me not being in Jamaica didn't mean that I wasn't Jamaican anymore. I could embrace both worlds. I could have both. I could be both. Because starting over does not mean that you're losing yourself. It just means that the version that you thought was going to be with you forever requires a little bit of adjustment. And once you accept this adjustment, guess what? You'll start to live.
What's up, beautiful and amazing souls? Guys, in today's video, we are going to talk about why Jamaicans are still contemplating moving back to Jamaica from America. And yet there is Hurricane Melissa that just happened recently. People are still recovering. And, you know, guys, a lot is happening in this world. A lot of them. And when the president of America, Donald Trump, said that if you are here complaining about America, just leave. You don't have to stay here, then you keep complaining. And some Jamaicans for sure booked their tickets and went back home. But anyway, I want us to understand, why are they moving? Why are they fleeing? Why are they leaving the land of opportunities, the American dream? That's what we want to talk about in today's video. So we are going to equate it to re-immigration and or the great reversal. That is now why Jamaicans are moving back to Jamaica from America. And initially they wanted to move from Jamaica to America, you know, and things are turning out to be really different. They're coming to understand what the American dream really mean, and that for sure, it needs strength, it needs emotional strength, physical strength, mental strength. Hey, so one of the things that are really making these people to move back from America to Jamaica is the desire for home. They have been away for so long, and I remember when you are in America, it's a lonely life because people are working day in, day out so as to pay bills, pay rent, and ensure that everything is running well. Otherwise, if you go there and then you want to embrace the culture of slow living in Africa, in the Caribbean, then it's gonna be so hard on you. So the desire for home, people miss home. They have been away for so long, and yeah, they just want to be around their loved ones. They want to feel loved. They want to the presence of, you know, just being at home. It's a beautiful feeling. And another thing that really make Jamaicans in America to want to re-immigrate back to their country is the fact that, you know, there is a very harsh economic conditions in America, especially since Donald Trump came in. I don't know how these people are managing to send back money home, because, oh my God, so many things are happening in America. Government shutdown is there. That means that nothing is going on. And private companies, they're laying off. And guess who are the most disadvantaged? The black people. And also this aid that has been supporting and helping Americans, and not only Americans, but just both those who are born there, the citizens, and those who acquired a citizenship through this, I don't know, is it residential permits, work permit, yeah. So economic conditions, or harsh economic condition, is one of the factors that really want to is really pushing these Jamaicans from going back to their country and leaving the America for good. I know most of their family members will be like, what? Why are you really, you know, leaving America, the land of opportunities, the land that everybody is dreaming about, you know? Why leave? And guys, I mean, you already saw these Jamaicans during this period of Melissa. They're packing up their things and they're going back to stay with their family, you know. So we also want to talk about finding out what the American dream really mean, and that will shock you, of course. So the American dream that we are always told about everywhere in this world is that, you know, you are going to acquire cars. Back at home, you will build a very big and beautiful house. Your siblings will be going to school. And you know what? Once you land there, or after you just land there, guess what? The American dream that you were just told about means that it's work, 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 and that work is to pay bills, nothing else. That's what the American dream really means when you arrive. But when you are not yet there, it's about buying cars, living the best life. Oh my God, leave alone the loneliness that people always complain about. And the cycle goes on, a cycle of work to just pay bills. And of course, people are really complaining about high rent. They're like, yeah, we are getting so much money. And remember, this money that they're talking about is after they convert it to their local currencies back at home, then it's so much. But at the end of the day, it's going to rent because the rent is so high. There is inflation. There is also stress of a very fast-paced life. So if you see these people wanting to move back to Jamaica, it's because they want a slower and more meaningful existence. You can imagine how simple that is. Also, some want, you know, they're actually moving back because probably they planned well and strategized how they are going to retire. And that's awesome, by the way. Not everybody wants to be living there like forever or until they die. Some go, by the grace of God, if they live till their retirement day or time, they go back home and yeah, they enjoy the fruits of their labor, which is awesome, by the way. So apart from retirement as strategy, some want to go back because they have already bought land, they have already constructed a beautiful house, and you know, that is one of the signs that you are a successful person on this other side of the world, you know, the developing world. Because of course in America, you know, all of you are kind of the same, I guess so. So some have been away for like 30, 50, 10, and they just miss the cultural connection, the music, the food, the weather. Oh my God, this is awesome, you know, because all this brings psychological comfort. Number 3, or I don't know which number we are in, some always go to America for a period of like 10 or 7 years, and then after they've gathered some money, they fly back to the island, and they do business. So others, it's just an opportunity to get capital for their business, and then they're back to the land. But of course, remember, Hurricane Melissa, just like 2 weeks ago, it really destroyed Jamaica from the level that it was to ground zero. And this, of course, has pushed or has caused some hesitation to those who are in the process of planning to relocate back to America. And of course, we all know that housing has been really affected because there is a shortage. Some will want to start by renting it out, or of course, most of these people already have homes, so like their homes are really damaged to the extent that they can no longer live there. They just have to go stay in these shelter homes or shelter centers. And also there is an anxiety, infrastructure anxiety, about water, the grid system, how long is it going to be recovered. Oh my god, it's just a lot. But thank you guys for watching the video up to this point. I appreciate your presence. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.